Hey everybody, Garrett Claridge here. The people that viewed my channel before might have known that I was a bit obsessed with speakers, but how about microphones? Here's a closer look at some of the microphones that were on my back shelving unit in the background of my videos. The microphone you're hearing me on in this video and on most of my videos is this small diaphragm condenser lavalier microphone I clipped to my shirt. It's plugged into the Zoom F1 field recorder. Here's some of my dynamic microphones I mostly use for stage and live events. I even have a dynamic microphone for every drum on my drum kit. A few years ago, these USB-powered large diaphragm condensers were the thing to have if you were an internet personality or a streamer, anything like that. These were a nice all-in-one design with everything you needed to get going, and all you needed to do was plug in one wire. Then there was this sudden change where people wanted nothing but one microphone. And I always wondered what the heck was going on here. People were always asking me, what microphone Joe Rogan uses, what microphone is on the whatever podcast. And, you know, it's kind of funny. This has been a top seller in the Shure lineup for a long time. So what I'm holding here is the classic Shure SM7B, but let me just tell you a little bit of a story. Here is one of the most sold microphones, most used microphones in the world, the Shure SM58. Every comedian, every rock star, every stage you see, these are up on the mic stand, and they're known for taking quite a bit of beating. You can see this one has a couple dents in it. All that, no big deal. Let's take a look. Oh, not that part, but take a look on the inside here. The classic old Unidyne 3 capsule, and it's in the shock mount in there. Now, if you were to think of a counterfeit item, you might think of like shoes or purses, stuff like that. Now, I don't even know if I can get the lid off this. I don't think I have ever done it. Whoa. However, Shure microphones are one of the most counterfeited items on this planet. Here's the real, here is the fake. This one's actually labeled as another brand. I'm not sure how they're able to sell these, but they use the exact same model as the SM58S with the switch on it, and trust me, they look just identical. You can hardly tell the difference between the capsules and stuff. Only when you plug these in and listen to how these sound is when you know that one is a lot cheaper. Here I have an SM57. This is the one that I most commonly see copied. I think it's the cheapest you can buy a copy of. However, they're almost the worst if you get a copy of these. These mics are known to be like the Swiss Army knife of the sound guy. You can record or broadcast just about anything with this mic. This mic is absolutely legendary in the rock and roll community for guitar cabinets, for singing, for everything. This was released in 1965 and has been used at the presidential lectern since. You might recognize it a little bit more if I add this little device here. Oh, it's actually, I got another part for it. So this little locking windscreen, and this microphone is like the presidential package. Now, the Shure 57 and the Shure SM58 have both legendarily been $100 US since their release. So you might be on eBay thinking you're getting an amazing deal. This is not a great example of the copy, but in a way it is. But they didn't try to actually brand it as a Shure thing, but the copies will try every little step to copy the labels and stuff. So I'm going to use eBay here, SM7B. The first one we have $230. The next one is $475. We have a $200 one. We have a $370 one. What the heck is going on here? This one's $400. This one's $300 and it's used. And there's another brand new one here, $450. Why do so many people have these microphones? Oh, look at this, $240. Let's see what this ad looks like here. Oh, what do you know? The guy has multiples of them. So he has 5 for sale. Here's a 7B ad, but it's using the wrong picture here. And, geez, I don't know how they didn't catch that. $275. Oh, this guy has 2 of them. On AliExpress, the more of these you buy, the cheaper they become. So sometimes you see people on Facebook Marketplace where they're like, oh, like 10 available. So when I Google the SM7B microphone, I'm seeing the MSRP between $540 and $570. Why is there so many good deals on eBay? $183 Canadian is, like, Our money's not worth anything. 183 Canadian is 129 American. With the increased demand, there's been a much bigger production of the counterfeits than ever. And really, they're starting to look so good that people will buy them and not even know they have a counterfeit until they plug it in and hear it for themselves. One day while I was searching eBay, I noticed this ad for a $230 SM7B put up by a Toronto pawn shop. This eBay listing was driving me crazy. I just had to know if it was a real mic or not because the photos just don't do it justice. Not as if I need a microphone of that caliber whatsoever, but I just had to get it. In the worst case scenario, I just have to print a shipping label and send it back, or else I end up with a nice microphone that I'll have probably the rest of my life. It's most people's end game. Of course, if it's real, it would just be an epic microphone to have in the collection. So the package just arrived on the porch. This is very nerve-wracking. It's just like scratching a lottery ticket. Oh no, we got the peanuts. Now, if you didn't notice on the box, it said this was 5 pounds. And definitely, oh man, that's annoying. Definitely heavy. They packed it well. Oh man, trying to get rid of all these peanuts off it before. Oh wow. Oh, I was gonna say, that's not the right wire for that thing, but they included a microphone cable. I'm not seeing a brand on it. Oh, Amazon Basics. Doesn't seem too bad though. Oh my. So I'm so nervous about this. Although, right off the bat, I'm seeing like a QR code or something inside the XLR. And some writing on the inside there. It says Shure, all that. But I believe the fakes are still... Oh, I'm like shaking right now. I've never even... Wow. This is a unit, man. This thing's heavy duty. Some kind of adapter in here. Oh, okay. So right off the bat, I'm noticing like it smells like cologne. And you know what's funny? Ooh. Oh, this is kind of funny here. See how the foam is. They had this windscreen on top of the other windscreen, but you're supposed to take that off, I believe. So the first thing we're going to look at here is the quality of this little wire here. The cheap ones are very flimsy. The real ones can actually hold a bit of shape to them. They're a bit tougher. You got these grommets, and they shouldn't pop out. See the other one? Oh, it's kind of popping out. Although, this is an old used microphone though. Now with this cable here, you can forget if it's... No, it's this way here. The cords are always the same length. See how this is stretching here? It should... That's exactly where it should be. Right where that bolt would be, essentially, when you stretch it. So, yeah. If you put it over this way, it's just enough to not cause any tension at all. That's the perfect length of wire right there. That's correct. The fake ones have a flat base here for the XLR connection. In here, some of the cheap models, you can see little welds around here. This is nice and straight. I'm shaking. I'm thinking I bought a real microphone here. I'm pretty sure this is starting to look pretty darn real here. This is exciting. But the gaps around here, that's nice. That's correct. That's like, feels like I'm reviewing like a fake shoe or something. Like, this is all welded nicely. The Chinese copies are getting very good at copying this sort of stuff, and every time anyone makes a criticism about how the fake ones are done, they seem to improve it pretty quick. That's the right distance back. Some of the cheap ones, they're pushed right out there. Say this metal's nice and this little seam here, there's no ugly welds. Nothing to cut yourself. I'd like to take this little adapter off here. It's looking nice machining, like you pay attention to how the metal's machined. And China just can't keep up with that. I'm not sure if this is an original part. Now another thing, when I tighten down the yoke, this one it takes quite a bit of force to move it if you actually tighten the yoke up. Even when you tighten the hell out of the cheap ones, they will flap around on you. But this, that's alright. I'm hearing something in there. Oh, I think that's just the capsule floating around in that shock mount. Let's take a look at the stickers here. So over in the corner here, you can kind of see it says Made in Mexico. It's looking pretty good. All the printing's looking nice and sharp. So far, I can't see anything pointing out this to be counterfeit yet. Even these side screws here are nicely machined. You can see the brass mounts and such in there. We got the correct plastic washer in the side. Okay, now this is where the fun kind of begins here. Oh, there's another good indication right here. This is countersunk, kind of a drilled out spot so it keeps the screws nice and flush. Ooh. And flipping this around, no overspray on the back of here. Sometimes you see like, it looks like an oven rack. They spray painted these on. So that's good. And I don't know why it's sticky. That doesn't make sense to be sticky. I think someone was using it as like a friggin' sticker before they put it on the microphone again. Because it's like... I'm gonna have to hit some alcohol on that. So here's some settings. I'm gonna switch one. These indicators are nice and flush to the back of the mic here. Now flick the switches. In the down position, they're a little bit further back. The first switch is the high pass filter, and then this is the sibilance boost or something like that. Okay, now 2 more screws. Okay, there's a good sign at first here. No overspray on this panel here, looking nice and clean. These are also recessed screws here. We have a brass panel in here. Very important, we see that. Okay, now here's the exciting bit here. Oh yeah. Ooh, dropped the screw. Oh, I dropped this. Yeah, I didn't even realize those came out. It's kind of cool how these work though. So these are the proper color codings for the wires. This is all looking good so far. Again, no overspray inside here. It's a nice paint line on there. We got some codes inside. And it's all looking good. You can see the capsule a little bit in there. That's all, again, just, I can't believe this. I thought I'd be returning this thing. Let's try to get this back together. I think I just won the lottery, essentially. And got a real SM7 for the price of a China knockoff. Pretty damn cool. I think I'm going to leave the back off that. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Gotta put this on first. I'm just so excited here, guys. Oh, that's awesome. There we go. So it's the next day, and I went ahead and washed everything with antibacterial soap, and these with antibacterial dish soap and warm water. Now these foam pieces are back in their original shape. You can see, remember how this was doubled up before? Now that doesn't fit. So now, if I put this on here, it pushes right in. Fits nice. Now one thing I noticed is this capsule here is just a little bit loose. I have to take this apart sometime and tighten this little clip up that keeps the capsule on the shock mount. That's all that's happening there. That's why it was rattling around a little bit. It's off just a touch. You can see that little clamp there that should be pulled up just a little bit more. Not going to affect much right now. I'll do that later. So there we go. Now the switches at the back, I actually said this second one was a sibilance boost. It would definitely boost sibilance, but they call it the presence boost. I was just a little bit excited at the time. I couldn't get the words straight. Now this microphone's known for needing a lot of preamplifier. Yeah, there's no way. This old audio recorder here has quite a large noise level to it, so I try to keep it to recording level, like under 40 here. Kind of a low input, but I could probably work with that. Let's give it a try. Hey everybody, Garrett Claridge here. You are listening to me on the Shure SM7B microphone and the old Zoom H4n audio recorder. Seems like it's getting a little bit of signal, but can use more. Can I turn it up? On the go here, I can. So the problem is you're going to start to get some preamp hiss from this. There's 100. Now we have this turned up to hit the compressor on the recorder. It's probably sounding a lot more like a broadcast voice now, but that preamp, as I say, is just very troublesome. This is old technology. So what I'm going to have to do is get a better preamplifier going for this thing to really make it shine, but I'm thinking it's sounding nice. Now the fake ones, they really can't copy the insides. There's just no way they can keep up with that technology. It's always buzzy and just doesn't sound the same as a genuine microphone. So what do you guys think? Did I get a real microphone here, or did I get scammed? It's definitely not a good idea these days with all the counterfeits around to be buying microphones on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, anything like that. It's way too easy for people to be importing them. But if you don't want to take the gamble like I did, just head over to your local music store and make sure they are an authorized Shure retailer. So you might remember earlier in the video I said the SM7B is very power hungry and needs a preamp most of the time. Now I'm going to show you just how bad it is. You're currently listening to me on the SM57 with the locking pop screen on it. A lot of people say that this microphone is essentially this microphone, and I don't believe that whatsoever. But they say when you're on a budget, you can buy an SM57 and this locking windscreen. It will get you the same sound as this 7B, but we're going to find out if that's true like right away here, because I'm going to just go ahead and unplug this and plug it right into this 7B. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now I really need to yell in this thing if I want the signal to pick up on the same level that it was with this microphone. That's where the preamplifier comes in. Alright, now you're listening to me through the SM7B through the preamp. This is the Tube MP, something like that. It has a little tube in there for the tone, I guess. I don't know. If you need a bit more power, it has lots to go. There's even this button where I can just double it, like, bam, double. That's when you get distortion. So there we go. This is kind of hitting the sweet spot. Like, I haven't changed the level of recording on this recorder here. The only difference was changing microphones and adding the preamp. Try going all the way down on there and use the double feature, whatever it is. What is it? Plus 20 dB? Not double, but a lot. Hey. So I can have the input all the way down on this thing. Just hit that one button and I'm rocking. Sound like a radio announcer probably. Hey, it's Garrett in the morning. This is your traffic report, right? But anyway, guys, thank you for watching if you stuck around this long. But essentially it seems I've found a Shure SM7B for the price of a Chinese knockoff, and that is just freaking awesome, man. I can't wait to hear what this thing sounds like. What do you guys think? Thanks for joining me, and you guys have yourself a great day.